I can't wait for opening weekend every year in Kentucky because you actually get to hunt and not work the whole time.
The saga of deer season begins. You're watching Wallhanger TV. This portion is brought to you by Reconyx, the all-American made best trail camera on the market. See what you've been missing. Scent Killer Gold by Wildlife Research Center. Apply it, dry it, and go hunt. Redneck Blinds, the best hunting blind on the planet. Athlon, ridiculously good optics. Gator Tracks Boats, purpose-built boats for the extreme outdoors. Wallhanger Pedestals, customize your next trophy. Old South Dog Boxes, custom dog boxes, kennels, and trailers. Huntworth, top-notch gear at an affordable price. Yamaha, the all-new R-Max and their full lineup of ATVs, UTVs, and side-by-sides.
Serious business. Backstrapping distance.
Dropping in Wallhangers, you know hunting runs through my blood. Whether it's setting decals for pintails, or slaying airs of whitetail bucks, making homemade blind hunting gobblers, or snagging gator on 12-aught hooks. Glad to say the Lord made me this way to hunt for Him down here in the woods.
Just a little sneak peek into a little part of our life.
We're back in action, heading back to Kentucky. It's one of my favorite hunts of the year. It's youth season. We get to pull a rifle out for a couple days, but don't worry, we're going to bow hunt for a couple days prior to gun season opening. And the weather's breaking a little bit. It's October. It's starting to look and feel like deer season, so it's going to be a great show. Well, I made a bunch of trips up here this year getting ready, so the good news is we don't have much to do today other than go hunting.
So we're back in Kentucky after that terrible opening weekend when those deer crapped on me, which is very annoying. But it's been a few weeks or a month or so, and now we're back to go get our revenge.
Mom's jerking my hair out, and we're about to go hunting. We're going to our stand. I don't know where Mom's going.
Didn't see any bucks there.
There's only this one buck that's been coming out there that we're trying to kill. And they have a few other big bucks that have been in like the bean field and stuff. They're going down.
Any of them show up? Huh?
If any of them show up or any of them they're just a little bit smaller than them, game over.
Going down. Well, the setup in October in Kentucky can be very, very tough because what happens is the season is changing. So all these bucks have lost their velvet. They've broken up out of their bachelor groups. Their pattern has completely changed. Their feeding pattern has completely changed. Even the way that they travel to water has changed now compared to what it was in the summer. It can be very, very challenging. We have soybeans on the farm this year, and they're starting to turn. The deer are kind of pulling off of them just a little bit, and they're getting back into timber. A lot of acorns are starting to fall. So it just scatters these deer out a lot, so it can make it really challenging to get on a buck.
When we were here last time, we had good bucks all over the place. And there was one that kept coming to this stand. The first evening we came to this stand, he basically was somewhere else, I don't know. And last time we were here, we were chasing these bucks around. We were getting out into the bean fields, trying to chase them around. Well, since then, things have settled down a little bit. The bucks have lost their velvet. They're starting to get in a little bit different pattern. We came in last week and planted these food plots, and believe it or not, they're already sprouting. And our Reconyx cameras has a lot of deer feeding on this tender grass. So what they're doing, they're coming in, they're transitioning in this food plot on the way to the bean field. There's starting to be a few acorns fall in the woods too, so there's no shortage of food, but these bucks are finally kind of settling down. We've got but he got a big 9-point that moved in. So he shows up at any of our spots. He's not consistent, but he shows up every day somewhere. He may show up, but if not, we've also got 2 or 3 nice 8-points that have been coming here pretty regular on Reconix camera. So what are we shooting this evening?
Any buck that comes out that's good enough, he's going out.
Rack buck.
Yeah.
What I really like to do this time of year, this is the time of year where we start getting pretty aggressive with our scents. We start working our scrapes, we start working our scent drippers, we start working our ropes, and really working a lot on our Reconix cameras. We set these up over scrapes, over field edges, and start trying to piece this puzzle together of what is a moving target of finding a buck this time of year. There's no doubt about it. Wallhanger TV is brought to you by Gator Tracks Boats, purpose-built boats for the extreme outdoors. With all welded construction, Gator Tracks has the toughest, most customizable boats on the market. Build it the way you want it for your needs. Gator Tracks Boats, purpose-built boats for the great outdoors. At Wallhanger TV, we depend heavily on good optics. From the swamps of South Louisiana to the plains out west, Afline gives us the quality scopes, rangefinders, and binoculars that we need to get the job done.
Well, it's October the 10th, and this is my first trip back to Kentucky since opening weekend in September. Chad's been back a couple times with a camera guy, planting food plots and hunting some. We didn't have any luck opening weekend, even though we saw bucks everywhere, but Cadyn's off of school for fall break for 2 days, and it's youth gunning season this weekend, so we were able to kind of make a 4-day trip out of this. Pretty excited, even though the weather's warmed up a little this evening. It was down in the 40s when we got here late last night. These bucks are still showing up on the Reconix cameras at like one of our big main food plots every evening. There's 1 or 2 at each stand, so I'm just really hoping Cadyn has some luck this afternoon.
So we're going to be bouncing around a little bit in the mornings going after some of these deer, but in the evenings we're kind of falling back. We're going in our redneck blinds and we're hunting some of the edge of these bean fields and where our new food plots are that we just got put in a week or 2 prior, and trying to really just catch a buck on his feet, transitioning out to feed in the evenings is our highest chance of killing one.
Now we have done a lot of work to this place this year. Probably more work this early than I can remember. Hanging stands, cutting trails, bush hogging. Trying to make the most out of a small piece of property. One of the main things that we've done is get these food plots in to kind of manipulate the feeding patterns of these deer. And the other big thing is where Dana's at this evening, swapping that stand out. We put a brand new redneck soft-sided blind up there. That little corner's just been hot this year. It's been paying off on camera. We just haven't been up here and been able to like slip in and make a kill. So this evening she should see some deer, but between a lot of the work we've done, we're just hoping it pays off.
So I look down there and there's a shooter buck and he's coming straight to us.
Well, I've seen this movie before. We look up, see a shooter. He's coming right down the lane that we worked so hard over the years to create kind of a channel for these deer, and he's coming right to us. Cadyn's on a crossbow and we're ready to make it happen.
Well, of course, as soon as the deer gets close enough for my crossbow where I can shoot him, and he's sitting there broadside, I'm telling my dad, he's like, I can't see him, I can't see him. I'm like, well, I can see him, and he's broadside, so we couldn't see him with the camera. Then he thinks he's coming more this way, but he just turns around and goes right back. So, another crap deer.
Yeah, I messed up here. I thought this buck was going to keep coming in front of us. We needed 3 or 4 more steps, and he's at 35 yards in plain view of the camera and her, and he doesn't do it. Just like wild animals or whitetails do, he turns and goes to our right. I tried to stop him. Maybe she could get a shot, there's a water hole tucked down in behind his stand, and he's going to that water hole. So I thought the deer would be coming back out before dark, but he doesn't. He transitions through there and he's gone. Out of sight, not out of mind.
He was at 45 yards when that happened. Could have killed him at 49. Where your girls from? We needed a yearling or a doe or something out there.
Well, Cadyn is obviously not happy, but we still have a few more days to hunt, and the weather's still holding out pretty decent, so we've got high hopes of making it happen.
You know, one common denominator for us when we are going on hunts, no matter where that is scent control. And one company that has just about anything you need, from help storing your clothes and your products to showering, spray, and everything in between, is Wildlife Research Center. So if you're looking for a way to up the odds in the field this year, check out Wildlife Research Center.
This portion of Wallhanger TV is brought to you by Showtime Dog Food, formulated by experts, proven in the field. The Wall family has owned and ran sporting dogs for generations. We know how important a good feed can be. It's the fuel to success. Go to midsouthfeeds.com. Opening morning a youth gun. It's very important that we get up before daylight and we get ready and we go out in the dark and we go into the timber and go into the woods to hunt this morning. Some of my favorite memories as a kid growing up was getting to go out in the woods in this wilderness on this adventure on opening weekend or opening morning, whether you were by yourself or with your cousins or parents or whatever the case might be. So we're going out for an adventure this morning. Hopefully we slam a buck, but if not, we're going to have a good time.
Alright, so it's opening morning of youth gun season, and we're trying to go kill a ruby-fell buck. So, wish us luck.
So we're going to sit in a ladder stand in the woods this morning and see if we can get anything done. So of course, whenever we go to the ladder stand, it's a perfect spot. Of course, we see nothing but birds and squirrels that morning. So. But it was still fun because you're in a ladder stand with the sunrise and the birds chirping, freezing cold, so can't feel your toes or fingers.
Well, I don't know what we gotta do to find Cadyn a buck. Well, we found one, but he didn't come close enough. But now we got the rifle out because it's opening morning on youth gun season, so we gotta keep bouncing around, try to find us a buck and shoot.
So the plan today is pretty simple. We've done all the scouting. We're basically just swapping stands. We stay in the woods a long time. We're going to swing through the camp, grab a quick bite to eat, and jump back in what we call Cadyn stand, where we had the encounter with the shooter a couple days before. This evening, we've got a gun. He gets within a couple 100 yards, she'll be able to take him down. Well, it's shaping up to be a little bit slow this evening, but we're seeing some deer. We saw some does and yearlings close, and we've seen a buck out in the bean field, but he's just too far away. Dark is creeping up pretty quick. I'm starting to wonder if we're going to get it to happen. Well, there's only a few minutes of daylight left, and I'm actually getting ready to start packing it up, and I look down to my right, and it was like majestic. This buck that we saw walk in the woods 3 days ago, stepping back out of that same spot, and he's in range, and we still have some daylight, so we're fixing to make it happen.
Shoot him. Wait. As soon as he picks his head up, okay? Kill him. You got it. Hey, this damn buck, girl. I think that might be the first buck we saw in the first evening. Could you tell?
Yeah, I think it was. Like, if you could say him shooting, I was like, what?
Like what? Like it's a buck shooting, hey, bro.
And I was like, okay. And then I literally had my finger on the trigger, about to pull the trigger, and he started itching.
It's like, oh, don't shoot him in the head.
That was almost where that deer was, like, a few days ago, whenever I was about to shoot it.
Just kill the buck.
He's gonna
I feel like it's more exciting whenever you've been hunting a lot, when you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and you finally get one. So, paid off.
Buck down.
Ow. I said my earrings are lucky.
Guys, I'm going to show y'all, we get asked all the time about Cadyn's setup because it's so convenient and so deadly. What we have here, this is actually a Legend 350 round, which I suggest for kids. She's been shooting this thing for years. It's very deadly. It packs a punch. It's basically a 200-yard gun. At 200 yards, it's 5-6 inches low, depending on the ammunition that you shoot. Very low recoil. We got her rifle set up in a youth model, so it's got a short stock and it's actually adjustable. You've got to be comfortable. It's a heavy gun, so there's hardly any recoil. A short barrel, it's really easy for them to carry, get in and out of the blinds with. And most importantly, you got to have good optics on your rifle, especially with a kid. Growing up, the kids always got the hand-me-downs and had to shoot with open sights and the cheaper stuff because we were rougher on our items. Nowadays, I like to be the exact opposite. It's just as, if not more important for your kid who's learning how to hunt, getting in the outdoors, to have a better scope. We have a lot of options these days. The technology has advanced a lot. Athlon makes a ton of different options and scopes, from the sniper all the way down to a kid's model or AR or even a pistol. This particular scope I've got set up on her Legend 350 is one of my favorite, really for myself in close quarters in the South, but especially for a youth. This is the Argus HMR. It's a 2x12 by 42, so it's got some options to zoom in, zoom out, pulls in a lot of light. We've got a very simple reticle in here. It's not a confusing reticle for a kid. And they make the same scope where the reticle will light up in low light situations. And what I like most about this, we've got a good set of Athlon scope rings. We don't have to worry about it getting bumped off. Every year after year, it stays accurate, stays locked in. They have a better glass than most scopes in this category. It's got a high quality glass in it. And most importantly, it's got a lifetime warranty on this scope. Invest in this scope for yourself or your kid. They'll be able to keep it for a lifetime and enjoy it and get a lot of use out of the outdoors and actually increase their odds of success. When it comes to what apparel we choose at Wallhanger TV, it has to work. It's got to be rugged and last 12 months out of the year. That's why we trust Huntworth Apparel. Huntworth has quality apparel and gear for the entire family.
You want to go get a deer? Ruby, hey, you ready to go get a deer?
She's getting some energy up.
Where's that deer? You ready to go get him? Where's he at?
Track deer?
You ready to go track? Where's your bell?
Well, we got Ruby out. We know about where the deer was standing. We're fixing to just ease right here, and we know about where the deer crashed and went out the field. This is another one of them that, and if you do your job, you don't need a tracking dog every day, Ruby. But we still want to put her on these deer as many as we can throughout the year. Good girl. Hey, you got a big old foot. You got a big old body, too. Girl, all these horns is hung up in the weeds. You got so many horns. All right. Come on, Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby.
She's coming to you.
Grab her,
I got
please,
it.
babe.
Ruby's like, I'm going this way.
Got him.
Almost.
There he is. He's a big old body joker. Kentucky buck down.
So we were sitting there and I was looking at the other buck that was like 200 yards away in the bean field. And I was just like, get ready. I was like, what? And he was like, you didn't see him shooting. I was like, what? And then he came out and he started itching his head. And then once he put his foot back down, I smoked him. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 point. Yeah!
Oh, Kentucky 8-point. This dude has a huge body, which is good. That's a lot of meat. We've been working hard this summer. We've been making a lot of trips back and forth, trying to get prepped and ready, and just blessed to be able to have a place to be able to get together and hunt, and blessed to be able to have a family that loves to do it together, and it's just what deer hunting's all about. And you, lady, have the first buck of the year for anybody. I think that's anybody, the whole Wallhanger crew, to be honest with you.
So now we had fall break, 2 days off of school, long weekend. We've been hiking, we've been pumpkin patch picking, and now we end our trip with a buck down, huh? Can't beat that.
What's really cool on this particular hunt is just what we've talked about, that same buck that we chased for 2 or 3 days and finally made it happen. Just the patience and endurance, facing a challenge of being able to do that and go through that process and be successful is special. It's special for a hunter that's still learning how deer act, and it's special for even myself just going after and making that happen, because to be honest with you, all this hard work we've put in all summer, deer season is still early, there's a long way to go, but Cadyn just got to kill her a buck on this place, so like if nothing else, all our hard work just paid off. We just made our season in one hunt and got to see her connect on a great buck and spend time with family, and it was an incredible weekend, and we're blessed so much. You're watching Wallhanger TV. This portion is brought to you by Reconyx, the all-American made best trail camera on the market. See what you've been missing. Scent Killer Gold by Wildlife Research Center. Apply it, dry it, and go hunt. Redneck Blinds, the best hunting blind on the planet. Athlon, ridiculously good optics. Gator Tracks Boats, purpose-built boats for the extreme outdoors. Wallhanger Pedestals, customize your next trophy. Old South Dog Boxes, custom dog boxes, kennels, and trailers. Huntworth, top-notch gear at an affordable price. Yamaha, the all-new R-Max and their full lineup of ATVs, UTVs, and side-by-sides.